A Valdosta firefighter has been honored, and Steak and Shake continues its second Saturday Classic Car Cruise-In. All that and more this week on The Wire. Welcome to this week's edition of The Wire. I'm Trey Behringer. Valdosta Mayor John Gale and Valdosta Fire Chief Brian Boutwell honored Lawrence Goddard as the July 2019 Employee of the Month. Goddard began working for the Valdosta Fire Department in June 2018. After a structure fire was suppressed on the morning of April 30th, firefighter Goddard went above and beyond by calling his wife Patty Goddard and having her purchase a replacement pair of shoes for the elderly occupant who was left without a pair of her own after quickly leaving the home. Minutes after units cleared the scene, Mrs. Goddard delivered the new shoes to the occupant. A Valdosta man is behind bars after being arrested in connection to a series of restaurant burglaries throughout the Valdosta area. An officer matched the description of 42-year-old Ronnie Campbell to a video recording of a robbery at the Zacadoo's Grill in the 1500 block of North Ashley Street in Valdosta. Campbell was found within hours of the crime at the 400 block of North Troop Street, arrested without incident and taken to the Lowndes County Jail, where investigators found him in connection with another recent robbery of a local Betty's Diner. Skills USA honored South Georgia career and technical students who won the nation's highest awards in the Skills USA Championship. Among these were students from Wiregrass Georgia Technical College. The National Leadership and Skills Conference and competition allows for students who have competed and won gold in their state competitions and demonstrate their technical skills, workplace skills, and personal skills. More than 6,500 students competed in the National Showcase of Career and Technical Education. The Wiregrass Skills USA chapter brought back 13 national medals, 7 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze. Downtown Valdosta hosted its Makers Market Saturday. Demivan Knighton has the story.
Bath and body products made from goat milk. Early Saturday morning, downtown Valdosta hosted its Makers Market. Makers Market is an expansion to Farms Day, but with more arts, according to downtown officials.
Our all-natural goat milk soap, which is made from our goats, milk from our goats that we raise. We also, about 3 years ago, launched a natural deodorant, and along with that, we have scrubs, lotion bars, bath salts.
The Makers Market is held every second Saturday of each month. As in the past, vendors continue to offer a vast variety of locally owned products and goods.
We sell handcrafted candles, homemade. Me and my daughter and my fiance started up this candle business. We're candle lovers, so we provide what we love to other people.
Makers Market allows locals to grow their businesses and showcase their handcrafted products.
We have 3 cents currently, but we plan to have a few more by the end of the summer.
I'm Demivan Knighton for The Wire.
Earlier this week, the 476th Fighter Group at Moody Air Force Base held a change of command ceremony. The ceremony welcomed Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Kelly and said farewell to Colonel Gerald Cook. Kelly excelled as a command pilot, accomplishing more than 3,000 flying hours, while also serving as the special assistant to the commander of the 476th FG. He is no stranger to the 476th FG, as he was previously the commander of the 76th FS. He was responsible for the integration of personnel within the 23rd Fighter Group. The Valdosta City Council approved 2 apartment projects in the Bay Tree Road area. Residents living behind the proposed project spoke at length, trying to convince the council to deny the plans, stating their concerns about the population density and the influx of traffic it would bring to the area. Conditions following the project on Pine Tree Road and Azalea Drive include no vehicular or pedestrian traffic access to the residential Pine Tree Road. The council approved the ordinance 4-2. Black Crow Media is hosting their annual School Tools for Cool Kids supply drive. Bring your extra school supplies to collection boxes around town. The supplies will be distributed to children whose families cannot afford or are in need of new supplies for the upcoming school year. Collection boxes are already set up throughout Valdosta at the Walmart on Inner Perimeter, Walgreens on Baytree, Rowan's Children's Consignment Boutique, and Valdosta Dry Cleaners. Chick-fil-A hosted its 15th annual Cow Appreciation Day. Kiona Bryant has the story.
On July 9th, Chick-fil-A hosted its 15th annual Cow Appreciation Day. The food chain most known for its over-the-top customer service, fast drive-thru, and delicious chicken sandwiches began celebrating Cow Appreciation Day in 2005 and has grown in participation every year as the company has expanded. What exactly is Cow Appreciation Day and how is it celebrated?
Cow Appreciation Day is just a day for us to show appreciation for our cows and how much work they do for us every year.
Customers simply dress up like a cow and visit any of the company's 2,400 locations between open and 7 p.m. and they will receive a free entree. Here at the Chick-fil-A on St. Augustine Road, it is the marketing director's job to spread the word in order to get guests excited and invite them to participate.
The main thing is to promote Cow Appreciation Day on social media. That's our main source of engagement currently. So we want to promote as much as we can on social media to engage our audience and bring them in to dine with us at Chick-fil-A.
This location alone served over 600 guests dressed in cow apparel, including the True Blue Moo Band, a family who comes every year and performs at this particular location. Both guests and employees enjoy and partake in this festive event every year. For The Wire, I'm Kiona Bryant.
After coming off months of employee shortages, Valdosta City Schools Transportation Department have caught a break. Transportation Director Roy Thomas hosted a hiring event in search of full-time and substitute bus drivers. Thomas and his team also obtained a pay raise in the Transportation Department. The raise was approved by the Board of Education on June 11th. Thomas says the raise makes the Transportation Department feel supported by its school board members and central office administration. Even if people missed the bus driver fare last week, Thomas urges them to visit the Valdosta City Schools website to apply. Steak and Shake in Valdosta hosted the second Saturday Classic Cruise Inn. Jordan Lacey has the story.
That'll be the day. The late great Buddy Holly.
Steak and Shake is hosting the second Saturday Cruise in Valdosta.
It's a 1951 Chevrolet pickup.
This vehicle is one of the many classics that can be seen at this event. It was beautifully restored and was not done without help.
Was from S&S Automotive, Mark Adams, Psychofab, a couple others.
This classic car club has been around since 1984.
And it's a club that's made up of people who like classic cars, old cars, antique cars. If you like cars, you can fit in the South Georgia Classic Car Club.
The second Saturday Cruise-In is one of several events that take place monthly. For The Wire, I'm Jordan Lacey.
A Lowndes County physician is seeking a new trial following his conviction in federal court for health care fraud. Dr. Douglas Moss and his physician's assistant Sean Tywin were indicted by a federal grand jury in 2018. Tywin agreed to a plea deal in April and Moss was convicted on May 14th of this year. Moss and Tywin were accused of defrauding Medicare and Medicaid programs by submitting false claims for services they never provided at local nursing homes. stealing more than $2.5 million from the health programs. Moss claims that his Sixth Amendment right was violated on 3 occasions in the previous court session. Valdosta is in the middle of a heat wave and outdoor workers need to take extra precautions. Emily Foles hosts the story.
It's the time of year for peak summer temperatures, and the past couple of weeks have been especially hot. With this rise in temperatures, concern for safety rises as well. People who work hot jobs, like farmers, landscapers, and construction workers, are no stranger to these concerns.
Plenty of sunscreen, plenty of water. I know some people that pack their hoodies with Ziploc bags full of ice, and that they'll be out there all day and not even be that hot.
These precautions are important for all hot jobs, staying hydrated being number one. Extremely high heat indices will continue in the following weeks, and much of the nation will experience record high temperatures. Outside workers spend an average of 7 hours in the heat.
It's always pretty hot. This year we have had to replace a radiator and a water pump. The temperature feels pretty hot all the time. Well, stuff like this, it's a lifestyle. You don't do it because it's easy or fun or anything. Everything's fun, even if it's not fun, put it that way.
If you know someone that works outside, be sure to thank them and maybe give them a little extra water. For The Wire, I'm Emily Foles.
2 separate semi-truck accidents caused major traffic jams on Interstate 75 this week. Tuesday morning between 8 and 9 a.m., one truck driver blew a right front tire and ran off the highway, flipping into the ditch. The truck was destroyed, however, the driver was taken to the hospital with only minor injuries. Another accident involving 2 semi-trucks occurred around 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. One truck was following too close, and the driver was distracted. In an attempt to avoid an accident, the driver swerved to the left, destabilizing his load. It then rear-ended the leading semi-truck. No one was injured, but all 3 southbound lanes were blocked until 7:53 a.m. The Valdosta Senior Community Center is hosting square dancing on Tuesdays through the end of summer. I cover this week's session. Valdosta Senior Citizens Center hosts its Bells and Bews square dancing. Senior citizens are dancing to Copperhead Road and feeling young again, relatively speaking. The Valdosta Senior Citizens Center regularly hosts scheduled events centered around older generation pastimes.
And we go over like case studies all the time where we have older adults who are like trying to come into our fitness facility.
George Lavender has been square dance calling for 35 years and attended 19 national conventions across the U.S.
I belong to Caller Lab, which is a national association for square dance callers. Oh yeah, in the whole world. They square dance in the whole world. China, Russia, Germany, France, and all over the United States.
Square dancing takes place every week for 10 weeks out the year. We do it for 10 weeks long.
First time is free. Follow-up dances are $5. I'm Trey Behringer for The Wire. The Valdosta Goodwill will host job fairs for the Department of Corrections. The fair will be held on Tuesday, July 30th from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. at the Career Center located on St. Augustine Road in Valdosta. The Valdosta State Prison is seeking to fill nearly 100 positions. Attendants should come dressed in business professional attire and have their resume on hand. Attendants should also be prepared for on-the-spot interviews. That's all the news we have for you this edition of The Wire. Thank you for joining us. I'm Trey Behringer.